April is here, and so that means in the next couple of weeks I need to get a lot of things in the ground. So I am spending today trying to get another bed just kind of turned up and prepared. My tiller is still not working, and I hope you can hear me, but it's quite windy out today. So I'm gonna try and at least get a bed, maybe two, done today. And I got gloves this time, so hopefully no blisters. You know what's one thing? I don't know if a lot of people mention of this on about with homesteading or people just starting out. I don't think you need a gym membership when you are building things and gardening and just all the work that you're constantly doing outside to, have the simpler life, especially when you're just starting out and building things. Yeah, you don't need a gym membership. You just need to get outside and you need to garden, and everything will just take care of itself. Well, just finished doing that bed. We had to make that bed a couple of feet shorter because we actually planted our raspberry trellis a little bit too far this way, and so there's not a wide enough path to get our tractor through. So I had to cut it a couple of feet short so that way when the tractor comes through and has to make a turn, it won't run over any plants. So this bed did not take me as long as last time, but it's still pretty labor intensive. And I'm kind of taking a break, and I am just trying to think what I'm going to plant in that bed next. Okay, so So I'm resorting to plan B. The shovel, it is very, very hard and taxing on the body. I tried doing a bed yesterday, and it was harder and rockier than any of the other areas that I had tried. And so I bought this little tool. It's a garden tiller. I don't know, it's called like a garden ripper. So we're gonna give this a shot and seeing if this will be easier than the shovel and trying to break up this soil. And if this doesn't work, then we're gonna go to plan C. Okay, this bed is done. In it, I planted some cilantro, banana peppers, bell peppers, and then I've got basil, and then on the other end over there, I have slicing tomatoes, and I put some little marigolds in the corners. All it needs is a little drink. So I had a change of plan. I decided to plant my 3 jalapeno plants here. And I also planted in some basil all in here. This bed has tomatoes, onions, peppers, basil, and I think a few marigold seeds. But I was thinking about planting in that bed that I just worked on today. I was going to plant my jalapeno peppers in there with my green beans. And I just did a quick little look-see online for companion planting, and they say that jalapenos or hot peppers do not do well with green beans. So that's why I had to have a change of plans, and they're here, and I think that they will be happy here. So I figured out what I'm planting in this bed. I'm going to plant against the trellis here some green beans, and then I've got these yellow bush beans. I've got some bush cucumber. We're gonna try planting some carrots, and then we're also going to plant some zinnias over here. Boop, 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 boop. I saw someone on TikTok say for carrots, all they do is they just throw them in a bed and kind of just rake over it, and that's all they do, because of how tiny these little seeds are. So I've never had luck growing carrots, and so I'm just gonna give it a shot with the way that she says, and we'll see what happens. I think I'm going to do an experiment with one of my garden beds. As you know, I have been kind of like tilling up the hard soil it hasn't been planted on, so I'm having to aerate it so it can mix the soil and to try and make it, good growing conditions for my garden. And it's a lot of hard work, especially since I'm having to use hand tools to till the ground. And so I called my Uncle Paul, who is the, I guess the expert gardener in the family. Hi, Uncle Paul. And, so he was telling me about maybe making like a composting garden bed, where it's not even really that, but just like a no-till garden bed. It's going to take a little bit longer, but just kind of laying down cardboard, putting browns and greens and scraps, and layer it with soil, and just kind of start creating like a lasagna method in this one bed. And I think I'm going to give it a shot, because I think I have enough other little smaller beds that I am planting in, and I think I have the extra space to just give this a shot and see how this works. So this is the garden bed that I have chosen to do my experimenting in. The log bed, this is going to be the composting lasagna garden bed, whatever I want it, whatever it's called, I don't know. And so let's get started with some of the things that I have already on hand to start working on it. that's it for today. We got a pretty good first layer in. Did some cardboard, some of my unfinished compost, and some lawn clippings, and topped it off with some soil. And so now it just has to kind of sit and work its magic, and just kind of, I'm just going to be slowly filling this bed, and I'm hoping maybe by fall I might be able to plant some things in it. It has been raining for the past 2 days, and we're having a break in the rain, and so I think I'm going to try and till one of my garden beds because the ground is nice and soft from it being wet. So I'm going to try and till it and prepare a garden bed because it's supposed to start raining again tonight, and hopefully I can get another bed done. So I just tilled that bed. That's about a 4 by 13 foot bed. Yeah, definitely a lot easier after the rain. I did that whole bed in maybe about 20 minutes, not including my breaks. But yeah, about 20 minutes worth of work. So that was much easier. I need to think that the next time. But because that went so fast, I think I'm actually going to plant in that bed today because we do have more rain coming, and that's good for, seeds. So I'm going to plant corn. That is a north-facing bed, so I am planning on using that whole bed to plant corn in. I'm planting this sweet corn, this bicolor hybrid sweet corn, and I also decided I'm gonna plant a few sunflowers in that bed as well. So let's get started. Another garden bed down. Just 4 left to go. Just 4 left. You know what's sad? I'm taking a break. I've worked all day, and I just finished spending about a little over an hour in the garden, and I'm just resting. But in my mind, I'm like, the ground is nice and soft. You can till those other beds. But then on the other side, I'm like, your arms are tired. You can take a break. It'll be fine. Oh, let's see who will win. I can't decide. Just another day here in the garden. I apologize if the sound is a little wonky. It is very windy today. But I've prepared another bed, and I've already planted in it. Let me show you. Yeah, so over here, what I did is, these are the seeds that I tried planting in my little seed starting kits. These are cherry tomatoes, so I've got 6 of those plants here. I'm just trying to see if they will grow in here. That's an experiment. And then I just planted a row of marigolds, and all in here I planted these peppercini peppers. These were also seed starts that I tried to do that did not work, and I am hoping that by planting them in the ground that they will that they will grow. So we're gonna give it a shot. Finished another bed, and in here I have sunflowers, some marigold, some basil. I did some zucchini plants and some zinnias. And I have just 2 beds left to prep and plant in. Oh, just 2 more. We're almost done. Oh, wow. All these green beans were not here yesterday. They just shot up overnight, and oh my gosh, like, look at there. Those are huge. Those are the yellow bush beans, and then up here are the pole beans, like that are gonna climb up the trellis. They're like a couple inches out. That's insane. Oh, Polito. Well, one thing that I haven't really been doing in my garden, I haven't been fertilizing. You know, I've just been so busy with preparing, you know, the garden beds and getting things planted. I didn't really realize how important fertilizing is. So I just went through all my beds and sprinkled this in there. I'm probably going to research some other options for some fertilizing things, but I just wanted something simple and easy to just sprinkle over my garden beds, and I did it now because it's about to rain. It's starting to sprinkle now, so that way it will get all nice and soaked into the soil, and hopefully it'll help my veggies and fruits grow so much better. Well, look what I did. I finished the last 2 beds of my garden. Woo! I am done tilling this year. Such a relief. Now I'm going to plant in this bed right here. I'm going to plant some kohlrabi, some trellis cucumber, some yellow squash or golden zucchini, and try and do some more zinnias. That's all going in this bed, and we'll see how they do. Alright, so it is near the end of April. Still technically have about a week left, but this weekend we're going to be celebrating my son for graduating high school and turning 18 and all that fun stuff. So I figured what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to do a quick garden tour to end this video, and the plan in the garden is just going to be kind of like maintaining, weeding, learning, trying to just make things grow and produce. And so here's a quick garden tour for April. Here is the garlic. Still doing pretty good. Hoping to have all of this harvested maybe in June, I think. And here are the beds with the potatoes, onions, and nasturtiums. We have 2 of those beds right here. Getting big. And in this bed, we have our peas. They're growing like a weed. We've got our broccoli plants that are looking pretty strong and healthy. Got a whole bunch of lettuce. It's getting there. It's getting there. Probably need to thin it out a little bit more. My poor marigolds are dying. I don't know if because I bought them they were already almost dead. I don't know. They're not doing so well. Then I have a couple pepper plants here in this bed, and of course it's lined with onions. In this bed we've got our green beans that are growing pretty good. We got some bush cucumber here. I've got some carrots that look like that they're sprouting. I think they're carrots. I think that's what I spread all over here. And these little things that are popping up, it's funny. This is why you're supposed to, mark what you plant. But I think these are zinnias that I planted at the bottom of this bed. And this long bed is my corn and sunflowers. So this bed is my northern facing bed, so I wanted to put all the tall plants in here. So we've got the ends have the sunflowers, and then I've got 3 rows of corn in here, and they're sprouting up looking pretty good. So this is the bed that I kind of just like transplanted my failed seedlings, hoping that maybe they might perk up over here. Oh gosh, I don't even remember what they are. I think these were tomatoes. These were cherry tomatoes, and then some marigolds. And over here I planted some peppers. So this was the peppercini peppers. And I see some little green popping up over here, but I don't remember if those are zinnias or if those are my peppercini peppers. It will be a surprise. And this bed back here, I planted, I believe these are zinnias on the ends, and then those are some marigolds. And on the inside here, some zucchini plants, which I've got a few that are starting to sprout, which is cool. And then obviously some marigolds, and I think some more zinnias over here. And in this bed, it's doing pretty good over here. I've got a bunch of thyme that is popping up, strawberries, onions. These are our raspberry plants. Our blueberries. I'm not expecting any fruit from any of the blueberries, raspberries, any of that, or not even strawberries, because I just planted them this year. And then we've got, that's all green onion in the back there, and another raspberry plant. I need to take that thing off. And I planted some marigold over here. I don't know what these are. I don't remember planting anything here, but it's inside of mulch. Maybe I did. I might have to look on a past video and check. And then over there is sage that is popping up. Just showing the progress of my, this is an experimental bed that I am trying to do, kind of like a composting lasagna no dig bed, and I'm hoping that it will be ready come fall. And I just planted some watermelons here. This is on a slope. Let me see if I get a better, I don't know if you can kind of tell from, this bed down, it's all like a downhill slope. So I bordered some rocks and laid some soil, and I planted watermelons in here. So we're hoping watermelon grows. It says it needs to be on a slope, so hoping that this works. And I did these rocks to just try and help hold the soil in so it doesn't erode. And in this bed here, I have my cilantro plants, some marigolds, a bunch of peppers. Planted some basil here in the center. It looks like I've got a couple little basils popping up there. And then here I have some slicing tomatoes that are growing. I've noticed that my peppers, they're just, I don't know what it is, but they just seem to be not growing very tall. I don't know why. Alright, this bed, we've got our cabbages down the middle, some marigolds in the corners. I planted some celery, and I don't know if that's the celery kind of finally peeping through or not. We'll have to see. It's funny, I don't know yet what's a weed or what's my plant that I planted. That's funny. Alright, and over here I have a bunch of Roma tomatoes, onions, some basil, and some more peppers in here. And again, I don't know, I don't think I planted basil right here. I think that's a weed. We're just gonna pull that. And if that was basil, oops. But I think I might need to start getting some tomato cages, because some of these plants, like especially that one and this one, they're looking pretty juicy. And yeah, I think that might be best, but they might be getting heavy. But this one, I'm confused on how to, it looks like I've got like a couple stems down there. I don't know if I need to prune some of these. I don't know. It was just like such a pretty healthy bush. I wasn't sure what to do with that. And in this bed, can't really tell because I just recently did this, I planted some climbing cucumbers or pickling cucumbers, some kohlrabi, some zinnias, and some golden zucchinis are in this bed. I have some space here on this side. I didn't plant anything kind of like in the middle to this side because if I wanted to plant something else later, I wanted to have that space available in case I needed it, so it's not completely full. And this bed, I'm not planting anything in just yet. I decided that I am saving this bed to plant for maybe late May, early June. I'm gonna plant in here some of the plants that seem to be doing pretty good, ones that we're eating more, kind of like a succession planting bed of the foods that we are eating regularly and that are growing pretty good. So I'm gonna save this bed for that. And these are all my little my seed startings that I tried doing, and it's funny, they didn't grow when I wanted them to, and now that I've kind of just not done anything with them, they've decided to grow. I'm probably just gonna plant them in random places in my lazy chaos garden and just see what happens. But over here we have our onions and blackberries. The blackberries, they're blooming down on the bottom, and so yeah, they're looking all right. This plant I'm a little bit concerned about. He doesn't seem to be as perky as that one, but confessions of a gardener, this bed is kind of out of the way from all the others, and I don't water it as regularly, so like I left out like this water bowl out here in this bucket to try and catch water, so that way I can do better at watering this garden. I know that's kind of funny. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you continue to follow along as we continue this fun new journey of gardening and homesteading, and I'm hoping to be preserving a lot more, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.